Okay, here we are in LaGrange, North Carolina. Got a privy, possibly from the 1800s. Okay, we're down about 2 feet 2 inches, and I got the first bottle showing up. It looks like it might be a soda. It is a soda. Kinston straight-sided Coke. Well, at least we're in the 1910-11 era. 1915 at the absolute newest, so that's really good. Okay, we're getting into the glass layer. Piece of a jug. It's a little hard to move around in here. Plenty of roots. Okay, I just pulled this out. It's machine made. I'm surprised. Looks like a Kellogg's bottle. Yeah, somebody from the early 20s, I'd say. Could be 1919, but I thought it was going to be older than that. Lots of stuff coming out. Broken, of course. Everything's broken, except for the worthless bottle. Something down there. Feels like a beer. Okay, it is what? That looks like a 1930s generic soda. And it's machine made. Why would that be below a straight-sided blown in the mold Coke? Now you got me confused. I guess we got it upside down privy because it's looking like 1938 stuff right here. Then I just found a cork top Listerine, but it's a machine made one as well, so I don't know what's going on, but might as well finish it. Okay, we got a meat glass. Some kind of a meat or cheese that could be used as a glass afterwards. Could be slightly older than this other stuff. That's interesting. That jumped about 25 years older. That is definitely turn of the century right there. A really fat whiskey. Okay, I just pulled out something. It looks like a Pepsi. It is a Pepsi, but it's the ugly late one from Kinston that's from around 1923, 24 maybe. But still, would have been decent if it wasn't broken. Got all different ages today. 1899 to 1939. Okay, we got some kind of food. Is it a horseradish? It's looking like a Heinz bottle. Come on, bottles, where you at? Okay, I think I got one under my knee. No, it's just a broken chamber pot lid, I think. Okay, we've got another. We've got many machine-made drugstore bottles already. I just didn't show them all because they're just so boring. And another. Okay, I just knocked down a cobalt blue ink. Maybe the only thing worth keeping so far. think it's just a Grove's Tasteless Chill Tonic. And it's cracked even. Well, it's only a $5 or $6 bottle at the most anyway. Not too big of a loss. Okay, we found one of these type of flasks. It could have been anything. It's kind of pushed in the middle though, on both sides. And it's a little bit larger than most I've been finding, so I'm thinking it's probably an older one from the mid-20s. We're just about done. Done with the fun. But we're not having that much fun because really nothing great showing up. Piece of a leather shoe. Oh well, we'll just rake the walls out for a minute and be done. Something. Okay, we got a mustard. Yes, this French is pretty common. I think I'll leave it behind. Okay, and let this be a lesson to you. See what happens when you don't put them in the water. Got all kinds of fisheye bruises on it. Only in North Carolina though. Okay, we're in the ghetto of Kinston and they're doing some serious work over here, but it's all fenced off. I don't know what they're doing, but there's almost for sure going to be some bottles coming out of there. Probably smashed them all, or maybe those guys picked them up. But I guess we'll have to wait for another day on that one. So we dug a privy and it didn't pay off too good. Maybe we got $20 worth of common junkers out of it. So we got to go find at least $100 worth in the next 3 hours in this dump over here. Okay, it's already 2:12, so we got exactly 3 hours of light left. Let's get to it. Okay, it looks like a lot of digging took place here many years ago, back in the 80s. Especially over there, but also I feel like it's been dug over here. But there's this one section about the size of a coffin right here. I think it's undug. Feels pretty tight. So let's open up a hole and see what's down there. We're getting down there pretty deep, almost 3 feet, but not doing that well. Found a vintage toothbrush. What should I say? Is it vintage or antique if it's 80 years old? I think that qualifies as antique. Then we got what looks to be fingernail polish and some kind of an Art Deco cork top bottle. Looks like one of those wave set kind of, I don't know, some kind of cosmetic, some kind of beauty product I would think. Okay, I just dislodged some large cobalt bottle. Oh, it's just a screw top. I thought it was going to be something special, but it is, whoa, it is kind of special. It's embossed. A Larvex. Is that some kind of a insect killer? I've never dug one before. It's pretty neat actually. It's got to be worth at least $12. So I better put that in the bucket of water to keep it from bruising up. Okay, found what looks to be a 16-ounce drugstore, but it's really kind of unusual. Just has a different feel to it, and the way the neck looks, and the elongated screw top. Could it be some kind of a liquor flask? possible. It's really kind of unusual for a slick. I actually found an intact plate, and it's actually a fancy one with gold, all kinds of gold trim around it. But I actually cracked out a piece of it because I wasn't expecting an intact plate. And whenever I do find an intact plate, it's always just plain white. But then I found, I guess this is called a White House vinegar flask. Could be worth $10 or $12. And I found a slick poison. It looks exactly like those tincture of iodine bottles, but no skull and crossbones. And I found a couple of nice pieces of this that somebody could use for some kind of art project. Yeah, I think we got a good one right here. It's a soda. Looks to be intact. It's a new icy. What city is it from? Oh, it's just a blank one. From Blankville, Ohio. Well, it's still probably a $7 bottle. So we better put that in the water before it bruises up and becomes a $3 bottle. Okay, what do we got here? Interesting jar. I think I found ones that are about half that big before, but this one is kind of unique. Yeah, I think I'll bring that one back with me. Alright, a nice looking Art Deco perfume. It's a corker, and I'm pretty sure I've never seen one quite like it. Alright, we got a Milk of Magnesia. Yep, never get tired of seeing those. Unless they're slicks. Then they're not too exciting. But this one's got to be worth about $5. Found a piece of yellowware. In case you didn't know, that's from the 1870s. So it was kept around a long time. Then we got what could be a bud vase. Well, now it is. Then we got a Pond's. And it's the big size from the 30s. Then we got a milk glass that actually looks like a glass. Looks like a drinking glass, kind of. But it's not, but it could be used as one, I suppose. But also we got a slick extract, but sorry I wasted your time showing you that one. Well, we are getting down there. We are at the bottom and we're tunneling it out already. Alright, looks like we got a soda and it's been sticking out for a while. It's just a ketchup, damn it. Okay, we got some kind of a bottle showing up. If I don't break it first. A champagne. Yeah, I'm not used to seeing champagne bottles in this particular dump. So it's a little bit surprising, but some people actually pay $3 or $4 for these. Even 30 years ago, I had a guy show up and say, yeah, I'll buy every champagne bottle you got for $3 each. Alright, I got a giant poison bottle. If you want to be technical about it. A Lysol is considered a poison, and this is the biggest one I've ever seen. About 7 inches. Must hold about 16 ounces. So that's probably worth about $15 because it's so unusual to find one that big. I don't know that I've ever found one this size, really, in 33 years. I think this is the biggest one I've ever found. So big, in fact, I thought it was going to be a Clorox bottle. So let's have a look at what else I've been finding. I found one of these megaphone shaped log cabin syrups, but it's got a few bruises, so guess I'll be leaving that one behind. We got a piece of uranium glass. Maybe I could melt it down and pour it into a mold for something else. As if somebody might be able to, though. And we got this unusual cosmetic of some sort. And of course a miniature Listerine with a cork top. Might get a few dollars for that. Yeah, this is what I thought it was going to be. 2 minutes later I find an actual Clorox But this is a little bit bigger, probably a 20 ouncer. I was just about to say, why have we not found any milks today? Not even a piece of one, but we got one showing up now. Hopefully it's intact. Dang it. I guess that's a no then. I was just raking over here and something dropped down and I was like, whoa. I've never found one of these before. A figural bottle. And what is this anyway? What kind of product is this? I don't think it's a syrup bottle because it would probably be amber like most of them. Let's see what the bottom says. Just design patented. 1935 I think. But yeah, that's nice. That might bring us up to about $100 worth of stuff. Assuming this might be worth, I don't know, $18 or $20. Alright, a few more. We got a tooled top bottle that showed up somehow. Some type of extract. So that's kind of nice for a slick. Then we got a McCormick and Company, Baltimore. Might be worth $2. Okay, we got a Lavoris, which generally I would throw these away, but we don't have that much to bring back, and it does have the original cap on it, so I might get $2 for it if I'm lucky. So that is it. It caved in all the sides, and I think we've been here less than 3 hours, but almost $100 worth. We did find a second miniature Listerine, so every little bit helps. But that is, oh yeah, we did find another piece of yellowware. So that's another throwback from the 1800s. Well, that's it. Maybe next time I'll do better. I'm sure I will, because this is definitely not anything to be proud of. Well, some people might be excited with these finds, but I did find a number of things that I've never found before, so. Well, since we have an extra 15 minutes of light, and I've never really explored the parameters of this dump, I don't know where it goes, how far, but this is part of it. Well, this is an area that might be part of it. So I'm going to probe around various places and possibly walk a quarter of a mile farther, maybe even half a mile past anywhere I've ever been to before. Nothing yet, except for a turtle. That's kind of unusual. And why does it have a piece missing right here? I guess I'll leave that. I don't want a pet turtle right now. There's actually probably 100 acres out here that I have only explored about 5 or 6 acres of it. There's one bottle. There could be little dumps all over here. It's really some kind of a project I need to devote an entire day to exploring it all and probing it all. But definitely no signs of any digging taking place over here. Okay, we got a large fallen tree, so you know what that means. Got to explore the other side of it and see if any bottles got pulled out. Nope. No bottles over here. Okay, we got another one. A really huge one. It's about 10 feet tall. But not a single shard of glass over here. Look at the size of that tree. It must be over 3 feet thick. And yet another one over there. Let's go have a look over that way. Strange. What's this about? I can't get to that other tree. It's just such thick brush. Well, maybe we can work our way around that way, but since I'm right here in this trench, and there are some bottles down in here, that's kind of interesting. Better do a little bit of probing. No, don't feel anything, but definitely looks like a layer right there. So this might be the edge of the dump. Certainly looks like it. Very sparse though. No, I guess it's all surface stuff all over this place. We got a cur jar. I don't really like those. But this is possibly worth $2. A Gordon's London Dry Gin. It's not a screw top either. It's got the boar head on it. But it's got the Owens, Illinois mark, so that's not too good. But I don't know that I found one exactly like it before, so I'll carry that around. This is really weird, man. I don't know why these bottles are just scattered around. Did they float here during a flood situation? Because there's definitely no layers anywhere. Just random bottles. And they're all late 30s and early 40s, as all the dumps I know of at the moment are that way. But what do we got? A privy out in the middle of nowhere? Sure looks like one. And what do we got over there? We got a giant wall of dirt about 7 feet tall. Things that make me go, Yeah, I know that can't be a privy, but this giant wall of dirt has got me intrigued. Is this supposed to be like an earthen dam to keep the flood zone away? That looks like a really old soda bottle right there. Super old. Like 1910. It does say something right there. Okay, not to be sold. Okay, oh man. It is actually a Tombstone slug-plated hutch bottle. For real. That's like 1901. Yeah, that's really strange to be here. I'm going to have to abandon that bottle because it just makes it too difficult to probe with that in my hand. But we have two gigantic depressions. Multiple depressions. I got to probe them and see what's going on. Could these possibly be privies out here? I don't know how houses could be out here. This is literally on the edge of a swamp and way out in the middle of nowhere, but yet 2 feet deep at least. If that wasn't a bottle, then I should have rammed it through and just made sure it was a bottle by crunching it. Definitely super soft. I'm hooking into something down there. Felt like a piece of metal. It's getting too dark to see if there's rust on the tip, but this is very unusual. Oh, that felt kind of crunchy. Slightly. Something a little crunchy down there. Yeah, that's not natural. There's something down there. And yet another one. But how could all these be privies? There couldn't be that many privies that close together. I just keep on seeing more and more sinkholes. Could there have been a factory here? That's a shallow one. Got another one over here. Yeah, it's very little resistance. Almost for sure that's a privy as well. And another one over here. And another over here. And another here. Another over there. I've just never seen anything like it. What's that? This is super confusing. Nothing there. Of course, this is a short probe. It's only a 3-foot 3-incher, which most people think is too short. But I have found thousands of things with it. Yeah, right at the handle level I crunched into something. Very sparse privies though. What could that tell you? They are very old. Could be Civil War period things. Wait a second. Oh my God. It's a secret cemetery. They're not elongated like disintegrated coffins though. They're just too, you know, they're just square. But since they're just all lined up in a row, just every few feet there's another one, so that is indicative of a very old cemetery with wooden coffins that have disintegrated, and then the ground sinks down. But why in the world would they put a cemetery on the edge of a swamp? Maybe for the Negro slaves that they didn't give enough respect to. I don't know. But this is definitely not making sense. Too many of these. Okay, we got a giant ravine here that goes at least 150 feet wide. I don't know if it's called a ravine or what. A holler. So we got a swamp down there. We got some funky modern insulators over here. Well, hopefully it won't sink in quicksand here. Okay, I would think they would start pouring trash off of this embankment, because we gotta be getting close to where the dump really is. We're heading back, in case you haven't noticed. Nope. Until next week.